What's up, friends? Welcome back. I don't know if this is going to be clipped on to episode 1 or if this is going to be episode 2. I still got to figure that out, but nonetheless, welcome back to another day in the field. It is December 23rd, 2024, so a couple days after that first episode. I think I just went out, like this past Friday for that one. But I am out here at a national wildlife refuge about a half hour away from the crib, so I just did some driving. It has been off and on snowing / raining like all day. It's right around 32 degrees, so freezing. So we've gotten like a mix of rain and snow today. What I'm hoping for is that it starts snowing again and I can get some cool kind of snowy shots here out at the National Wildlife Refuge. So yeah, this is right by, or it's right on the Mississippi River. So there's pretty much no bluffs or anything around here. It's very flat. You can kind of see the bluffs in the background, but for the most part, it's just really flat. But there's trails all along in here, all over the place. So maybe we'll get some cool trail shots and stuff. I've never been here before, maybe like once when I was a kid. So this is all going to be kind of new to me, which will be fun. I was kind of I've been saving this spot for a little bit. I don't know. I just figured today may as well get out since it's kind of snowing and stuff. So I'm hoping for some snow. We can get some cool shots with that. But I'm just going to head down this trail here. It's a very long trail. It goes all the way down to the river. And we'll just check it out. I forgot to mention, so it's Christmas Eve, December 23rd, and it's like 1:30 right now. So I've got a few hours before sunset is at like 4:30. This gate that's up here, not this one, but close to the park entrance, closes at sundown. So I do have to keep that in mind. Have to be back there before the gate closes. Don't want to be locked in here, but yeah, 1:30 right now. A few hours till sundown. And this trail, it's like 2.5 miles down this way. So I don't know if I'm going to get to be able to walk the whole thing. We'll see. But yeah, let's get to it. First kind of landscape shot here, guys, off the trail a little bit. I'm just working with my 22mm, so it's not, I can't really zoom in or anything. But I just thought this looked a little cool. I'm trying to like pick this out of the image, sort of. Kind of focus around that stuff out on the Mississippi. But I think this kind of this wood scene right here, I know it's very busy, but with the exposure down and darkened and stuff, it might turn out. So just kind of moseyed off right down the trail, but just thought that looked cool. It does look like we got some snow coming in right over the bluffs there, so we may get lucky here. Yeah, it's pretty wet out here right now. Driving here wasn't the easiest either. I had to put the truck in 4-wheel drive. Roads are kind of, the back roads aren't very great. Just slushy and kind of a mix of freezing rain and stuff. This could even be a cool shot, just looking up the road here. There's nobody out here, man. Nobody out here. Snagged a shot of the road, kind of looking behind me here. It's so quiet out here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but super quiet. But yeah, going super dark with the exposure. So like a lot of this stuff, a lot of these twigs and stuff in the woods is really dark. I'm kind of darkening that up a lot. and then the road itself kind of stands out a little bit, as well as the sky and the snow on the trees and stuff. So kind of going for that spooky, desolate kind of vibe here. But I also like how the road kind of bends and curves a bit in that. So not too bad. Yeah, with these hikes lately and stuff and types of photos I've just been grabbing, mostly kind of, you know, woodsy, naturey stuff, that kind of thing. That's what I've been looking at, going for lately, you know, coming off of fall and a lot of in-town shoots. But we'll get back to doing in-town photo shoots probably on the next like big snowstorm or something like that. This might be one of the shots of the day here, guys. I love this landscape shot right here. Super sweet. So I cut it off about here so none of these twigs or anything are in the shot, but just focused on these these trees in here, and then we got the bluffs in the background there. So that's Minnesota. We're over in Trempealeau right now. Yeah, just a really nice scene. I love how desolate this looks, and just very gloomy and moody, and how the bluffs are poking out there in the back. I think this is snow over there. I'm not really sure though. It just looks so cloudy, but I like that for this shot. So I'm gonna try and get down on this ice. I think it'll be thick enough. It's not very deep right here. And I want to get a vertical shot of this, like right in here, where you can see the peak of the bluff through there unobstructed. I think that would look awesome, but I gotta get on the ice so I can get out of this shrubbery to get that. So I'm gonna try and do that right now. But yeah, this is a really cool landscape shot. I love how moody this looks. Very nice. This is kind of what I was hoping for today. Now, if we had some snow coming in here too, that would be perfect, but this works. Down on the ice here now, guys. You can see I'm kind of at obviously the lower angle here, but you can really see the mountain there, or the bluff poking out, which is super nice. So I went vertical with this one. So right about here and here. And I gotta say, this shot right here makes up for the whole day right here. I love this shot, dude. This is sick. Yeah, this makes up for the whole trip out here and everything. Just this shot alone. This is what I was really hoping for. So I don't know if you guys can see as well, but we got a nice like cloud hue of color, like this gray to like light blue that comes in. And I really like how that looks as well. That nice moody color hue, that like kind of white to gray to light blue to white again in the snow. It's very interesting. Like, it's a lot of what these winter shots are, is trying to work with the light you got, because we don't get much light out in winter time. It's a lot of the times it's cloudy like this, so you got to work with what you got. And I actually like, I like the winter season. You just get more interesting shots like this stuff that, with the whole blue sky and everything. Like, it still look cool, but this is just something different. It's got a different vibe to it, which I really enjoy. But yeah, so I'm gonna take a few more shots, just make sure I got it. I'm out on the ice here. It's not too deep back here, pretty shallow, so it's thick enough. We got open water like right there though, but not gonna go over there. So I'm gonna snag a few more shots here, make sure I got it. And then the trail continues on over there and just kind of follows this dike all the way out. I think it actually goes to that bluff. So I don't know if we'll walk the whole thing, but we'll see. So far, best shot of the day right here. Beautiful landscape out here, man. You guys can see we got a little fishing hole right there. Yeah, just a super pretty landscape. Even in the winter time and on an overcast day like this, it's just super pretty. The Ole Miss. This is called the Trempealeau National Wildlife Refuge. If you guys were wondering, right down here at the bay, or on the Mississippi. These are all walking trails, so people just walk out here on this dike and go fishing a bunch. Looks pretty crazy when you can see the whole landscape like this. Beautiful spot. All right, friends, just got a vertical shot here, looking down the river. Just kind of cut it right here, right there. You can see a little bit of the grass poking out there, the reeds. Just thought it looked kind of cool, so snapped the pic. And I just noticed I've got something on the camera lens right here. Tried rubbing it off, but it's not coming off, so I'm gonna have to look into that. But there's that shot. Just keep walking down here. Okay, friends, so just a little quick update as I'm walking along here, this never-ending trail. So it's about 2:40 right now, so a little over an hour of walking and taking the pics. So I think my hopes for snow are all but gone. I checked the weather and I don't think we're gonna get anything more, which kind of sucks, but it's what it is. Yeah, we had like off and on rain, snow earlier today, but it was just scattered, so it was hard to tell if it was gonna last or not. It was like it'd be snowing and it wasn't snowing, so whatever. But I'm gonna go a little bit farther up here on the trail and then yeah, just turn around. See, yeah, I have to be wary about how long I'm out here because of that gate closing. It closes at sundown. Sundown is at 4:30, so that's pretty early, but we'll see. Nice landscape shot here, guys. Very gloomy, but I still like how it looks. It's kind of these piers sticking out here, and then the shrubs along the bank. I think that kind of completes it. Again, went kind of darker exposure, so just going for that moody look. Gloomy and moody. But yeah, just kind of like how this looked. Okay, friends, I am at the stopping point, literally. So, pretty much at the end of the trail here, as far as the main trail goes. Just after 3 o'clock, so I've walked probably about 2 miles. But this trail goes to this Trempealeau, it's called Trempealeau Mountain. It's not a mountain, it's a bluff. But pretty interesting landscape. It's just really weird. You got these like really crazy topographic landscapes with the bluffs just popping out of nowhere. It's really weird. I think you can go explore on this from here. You know, you walk down the trail, I think you can get up on that bluff. But I'm not going to do that right now. I don't have enough time and I don't really want to. So I'm just going to head back. Just after 3, so I kind of have to move it to get back before sundown. There is at least one shot I want to get up here. One more, looking out at the river. Here, you guys can see Mississippi. All the bluffs on the Minnesota side there. Really pretty. So there's a shot I want to get kind of looking out that way through kind of some of this brush and stuff. So looking out. So we'll go grab that and then yeah, just start heading back. Overall, good little hike though. Pretty easy, nice and flat, but super overcast. Didn't get snow, but that's okay. Still came away with some pretty good shots. So let's start the trek back. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that you can get up to the mountain or the bluff from this trail line, but I'm just not going to do that. Don't have enough time. Don't really want to, so maybe another day. Looks pretty crazy though, I gotta say. Let's start the long walk back. All right, friends, possibly the last shot for today. Kind of a simple landscape here, looking out at the river and this crest of the bluff here. I just like this composition. Just thought it was interesting, and I actually did a little trick with the lens that I completely forgot about. But in cold weather, cold conditions like this, if you want to create a little bit of kind of blur to your photo, make it a little bit blurry, foggy even, if you kind of breathe over your lens, like hot, like kind of like a, you know, like you're warming up your hands, like, you know, get the lens all foggy and stuff, and then wait for the fog to kind of dissipate on the lens, start taking the picture, and it really creates a cool effect with the blur that it does. You'll see those in the images. It just creates like this kind of film over the image that looks really cool. So I did that with this one, and we'll see how it turns out. But I kind of forgot about that technique, so I'm gonna have to do that more. But I am gonna start moving here. Got a long ways to go, don't have too much time, so I will most likely just see you guys back at the truck. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the crib for episode 2, winter 2025 photo review. So that was pretty chill hike. Very flat, so didn't have to conquer any rolling hills or anything, which was relatively nice. But yeah, I had no snow, unfortunately, on that little on that walk or that hike out in Trempealeau. I was pretty much, I was hoping there would be some kind of flurries or something, because I was seeing kind of like light flurries all day. So I was hoping that getting out there would still be some. And actually, as I was driving out there, I was driving through just some light snow. So unfortunately, that did not come to fruition on any of that snow, but was able to get a few good pics out of that little walk. Yeah, I believe I visited that location like once, maybe way back when. I can't even remember. I was probably pretty young, but I it's not too far from me, actually. I just have never gone to that area and kind of walked around. It's a pretty I mean, you guys saw it. There's not really a whole lot to it, I guess. It's just pretty much right down on the river with some standard kind of hiking trails following the the dikes that they have set up and kind of the drainage, I guess, areas. And they've got some like wooded spots throughout that park as well to kind of hike through, but there's not a whole lot to it, man. It's just kind of down on the river. There's lots of like boat put-ins and stuff like that, and docks. But just wanted to check it out, even though we didn't get we didn't get any kind of snow flurries. Still came away with some kind of like moody shots, as you guys were seeing. But it was just nice to get out. It was very overcast, so no any sort of sunlight or anything like that. But nonetheless, still good to kind of check out a new spot here and there. And just kind of get into the flow of kind of the winter photo shoots again. Let's quit yapping and we'll just hop on the screen here and start with the photo review. So yeah, like I was kind of mentioning, there wasn't like a whole lot of kind of crazy stuff going on in this, guys. Kind of similar to the first episode, just relatively simple. Nothing too spectacular, or but it was I guess it was nice just to be able to get into kind of a different photography headspace as well, going on a hike. I haven't really gone on a bunch of really wooded hikes or anything like that recently, so it was just good to get out and kind of look around and see things with this kind of fresh-ish snow. Wasn't like very fresh, but pretty fresh. You can still see some of these trees covered, but starting right at the top here. So this one didn't really turn out as best as I thought it would. I only had the 22 millimeter lens on there, so nothing really to work with to zoom in with or anything like that. But just wanted to snap the pic and see if it would turn out, basically. And you can pretty much see snow falling there on the other side of the river on the Minnesota side. So we basically just missed the snow for this photo shoot, but that's okay. Just a shot looking up the trail here. Got the nice snow covering on the path coming in, and got a few trees sticking out here with kind of snow kind of hitting those trees there. But yeah, I was going pretty dark exposure. I was trying to essentially darken up a lot of this brush kind of in here, a lot of like the twigs, just to kind of make them a little less visible, so there's just less busyness to the photo. It's kind of more just more highlighting that the road kind of coming in, and it's got that nice curve to it as well, so I just picked up on that. Like, it's a little bit windy, so anytime I kind of see if I'm shooting like a road scene or something like that, if it has a little bit of a turn in it or some sort of curve going on, that always makes it more interesting. It just adds kind of a little bit more depth to the photo. So it just leads your eye in kind of a cool way with that curve and such. But this one actually didn't turn out too bad. I kind of like this one. It's a little bit creepy, kind of got some like creepy vibes. Because it's that pretty dark, pretty low exposure. You can kind of tell like the only real highlights are the kind of white snow in the sky and stuff. And yeah, so getting on to this is probably honestly the best shot of the day. If I had to pick one out, was this scene. This trail was it was pretty much just a straight shot. There wasn't really too much going on, as you guys saw in the field footage. It's pretty much just a straight shot down the river there. But this scene kind of popped out to me, just with the bluffs in the background, especially kind of just poking out there. And then I actually really like how the sky is just completely overcast and gray white, kind of that gray whitish color. It just makes it really, really moody and super cool looking, I think. Actually, yeah, I was kind of saying, but I would actually prefer the kind of this scene to like a blue sky scene. You know what I mean? Because you got this, obviously the white snow on the ice here, and with the gray white of the sky and everything, it kind of just makes for an interesting photo where you've got obviously the trees and the bluffs kind of in the midground, the middle portion of the photo, and then the highlights of the white and the grays kind of coming in on the top and the bottom. So it just kind of all comes together, I think, in these images. If there was some snow going on, any sort of like snow flurries, I'm sure it would look like a lot cooler. But it still turned out pretty dang good, I think. And yeah, I think this is probably the best one of the day. I did a little bit of editing to this, really brought out kind of the highlights and the shadows, darkened those up a bit. It could turn out really, really cool. And I think we got good sharpness overall on these. So you got kind of the reeds on the river there poking out, and this line of trees. It just makes for an interesting photo. I always kind of like these ones. These types of photos. It's it's a simple scene, but I guess it's taking the simplicity of it, and with the weather and kind of just the conditions of the day, it just makes it stand out a bit more. It gives it a totally different kind of vibe. And it'd actually be cool. I mean, I was on the ice in this spot, but it'd be interesting to see, like, take a photo of this spot in spring or summer, or fall even, like compare the two different seasons. Kind of a good scene for that, and it's right along the trail, so relatively easy to get to. But yeah, that was probably one of the better ones of the day there, and you guys can see the trail here, kind of going along as I'm walking along there in the field footage, but pretty much a straight shot, nothing too fancy. A couple shots here looking down on the river. I was just picking up on the Minnesota bluff line there in the background, and just saw kind of those lines, and wanted to take this shot with got a kind of a nice tree and some reeds in the foreground here. A lot of these images, they kind of give you that, I was kind of saying it a lot in the field footage, but that desolate kind of look of like, just like you're out in the middle of nowhere type of feeling. And there's a little bit of cloud / I don't know what this lighting is, but just a little bit of light coming through there, just a tiny bit. And with a bit of editing, these photos could actually turn out kind of nice, I think.
And I was picking up on these reeds kind of in the foreground here. So if you're dealing with like a lot of I guess white space, or I don't know if you'd call this like negative space or something, but just if you have a big block of like in your images or something where it's kind of just like nothing there, almost. I like doing this where you kind of incorporate something in the foreground, something that sticks out, just to break up it basically like breaks up the image almost. Almost makes it like a little bit easier to view and get your bearings on kind of the depth and the size, I guess, of things in the image. So that's what I was kind of doing with this grass down here and stuff, just putting that in the foreground to kind of give the viewer kind of that perspective. So just something that I was thinking of while I was taking that. This photo wasn't really much, just kind of like messing around, taking some stuff, taking some photos. Got the bench, and then this shot. So this was basically like the final shot. But what I do here, and I mentioned this while I was taking this photo. So I'm gonna come back to this one, but I do this like fog effect with kind of just your breath on the lens there, and you can see me messing around with it a little bit in these photos of the bluff, just kind of seeing what it would do. But here's that scene again, and yeah, I was doing this kind of thing with my breath, kind of doing the kind of heating up the lens so it creates this kind of foggy blur almost with the condensation on the lens there. So just a little trick that you can do if it's pretty cold out, it can create this interesting little blur effect without having to mess around with like the focus of the lens or anything. It creates this blur effect, which made this look a little bit more interesting, I think. And you got the Bluffline Way there in the background, creating kind of something to look at there in the way background of the image across the river. But just wanted to mess around with that kind of foggy effect. I think it's kind of cool. So wanted to see what that would look like, and it actually turned out pretty good. So those were all the photos. Wasn't a whole lot there, guys. Nothing too crazy. Let's see. A couple edits. I don't know if I've shared this one with you guys, but edited up image from the last episode of the Bluffs. I'm pretty sure you guys saw this one of the golden hour sunset there on my childhood bluff that I used to hike up when I was a kid. So I'm pretty sure you guys saw that one, maybe not. But I also edited up this one from the same photo shoot. I got a couple more to go through from that last photo shoot. And then you guys can see here, there's some here edited from episode 3, but we're going to save those because episode 3 is a banger. But those are all the images from this shoot, guys. Again, I think the standout, there wasn't a whole lot in this episode. But standout, I think, from this one, obviously, is going to be these images here. Just, I really like these ones. Simple, but interesting and moody, unique, kind of very winter-esque, definitely turned out pretty good, I think, with these images. And the bluff lines in this area are actually pretty cool. You can see a lot of the bluff lines. They're very visible. So I was trying to just incorporate that along with the natural scenery around me with the kind of the trees and the river here and stuff like that along the ice. So those were for sure the standouts, as well as, kind of those shots along the river. So we'll hop off the screen here, guys. That'll do it for those images. Yeah, not a crazy episode, I know, kind of along with episode 1, but again, just kind of getting warmed up to things here. We haven't had a whole bunch of snow to start out the year. We had we had one big snowstorm at right around like the end of December, and since then, like that was for episode 1. Since then, it hasn't really been much, so kind of just been waiting and patiently waiting for a big snowstorm to hit. But just wanted to get out there at least and do a little hike around in nature and get outside and just see what was up for this location. I was curious to see what this area would actually look like in the winter. I've done some episodes actually for I think summer and fall around for 2024 around this area, but I never went to this spot, which is right along the river. So it's definitely, I feel like this spot would be good for a lot of like sunsets or maybe like early morning sunrises, because it's a lot of open space. There's a ton of open space at this location, like you guys saw in the field footage, because you got obviously the river right there. So there's tons of open space. It's probably a really good spot for like sunsets and stuff like that, because you probably get some crazy like stuff going on in the sky at this location that obviously I didn't see here at all because it was just totally overcast. But I can imagine this location would be good for something like that. But I came away with kind of a handful of decent ones. Just kind of getting into that flow of kind of winter photo shoots again. So warming up to that. Episode 3 is in the books. It's for sure a banger, guys. We had a couple days there of some heavy fog coming through this area. So I was actually able to get out and into that a little bit for episode 3. So there's some really good photos coming with that. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's pretty much it for me. So I hope you guys are having a good start to the new year. And if you're, I know the southern states and kind of the southern states have actually been getting a decent amount of snow recently. So if you guys are down there, I hope you guys are enjoying that, or maybe you're not, probably. But maybe you are. I don't know. It's probably fun to see snow down there if you don't see it too often. Yeah, maybe like, I know they just got hit pretty hard with a good snowstorm, but hopefully, fingers crossed, that stuff will come to us up in Wisconsin sometime soon. But that'll do it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.